All right, all right. Thank you guys for being on our Zoom call tonight. I really appreciate you all being here, and I'm excited to share a little bit of my story with you and a little of the company story and some information about the products that have truly changed our lives. And, for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome, and just excited to really show you something that you've probably never seen before. Hopefully give you some knowledge and information to leave with and be inspired by. And, really my goal is to just educate people and share my story. And that is what I want everybody to leave this call with. So just thank you for spending this time with us. And I will just get right into it. So this is my family. My name is Allison Parnes, and I'm married to my husband, Mike. In this picture, I have two beautiful boys, Zion and Donovan, who are 9 and almost 13. And I'm a veterinarian. I've been practicing for 14 years in the Atlanta area. And I'm also certified in veterinary acupuncture. And, I love, love, love my job. Always wanted to be a vet since I was a little girl. And it's been super rewarding, just really a job and a career, full of purpose and passion. But some things happened in our family a few years back in 2009 that really, rocked our world and made a lot of things priority shift in our lives. And so both of my kids in 2009 were diagnosed with a kidney disease. My oldest son was 5 at the time, and my youngest was 2. And my oldest son went into kidney failure pretty quickly after his diagnosis and had a transplant when he was 7 years old. And my youngest was diagnosed with the same disease, and we were told basically that he would go through the same course of, same course as he got older, and that he would probably need a kidney transplant around the same age as my oldest son. So needless to say, my job took a backseat to the needs of my family. I found myself working a ton of hours, really feeling the stress of not being there for my kids, not having the balance that I needed to do to be there for them, and, provide them with what they needed, and having the stress of work and having to work long hours. And so, I also had additional medical expenses and educational expenses that we really didn't have the money for. And I was just working so much and feeling like I was just not meeting the needs of my family. And it was just awful. It was an awful time. And I just knew that something had to change in our lives. About 2 years ago, I was introduced to this company, LifeVantage, which I'm going to share with you. One of my best friends from vet school introduced it to me, told me what an amazing product they had and that it was helping her patients and people that she knew. And, I got really, really excited about the science behind it, which I'm going to share a little bit with you tonight. I tried the product with my youngest son, had amazing results after 2 weeks with him in terms of just what we saw with his lab work and his kidney disease that we had never seen in 5 years since his diagnosis, some of the results with my patients. And I was just really, really on fire about this product and about the science behind it, and started sharing it with people. And it started to grow into a business that allowed me to be able to take the time away from working the long hours and weekends and overnights that I was working, to basically being able to be home with my family and provide for my kids and pay their private school tuition, and honestly allowed me so much freedom just by sharing this information that I'm going to share with you tonight. And so I'll get right into it here. Really what we're going to talk about, are 3 key areas that that basically this company and this opportunity and product can provide. And, the first and foremost thing for me as a veterinarian, what attracted me to this was just the science behind it and how it can really help our health. And, health and wellness and taking care of our body, it's really a huge trend you're seeing right now with everybody. No one wants to be on medication anymore. We're all looking to be healthier. We're looking to live longer. We're looking to just really reach our potential, of what we were meant to be, whether it's in athletics, whether it's just, living longer, whatever the case may be. People are getting tired of being sick and tired, and they're tired of going to the doctor. And you're seeing that, with all the health food stores and just people being so conscientious now about their foods they eat, tons of people taking all kinds of supplements. So, it's really one of those things that people are seeking answers for. And so this is one of the solutions that, we have with the company and the products. The big thing for me, another big thing for me was just that I saw in this was just having more time for my family, more time to enjoy life and do the things that I wanted to do and not working and punching a clock. Even though I loved my job, I was getting to the point where it was literally, I felt like, a slave to the clock and to my boss. And I didn't have flexibility. I didn't have, any time to really take off to be with my kids, my family. And so it became more of a job instead of a passion, which was not the reason I went into veterinary medicine, And so I feel like a lot of people are stuck in this situation of having to work so much because they have to pay the bills, and you're trading your time for dollars. And even if you go into your job feeling passionate and loving what you do, sometimes it does become, I guess, I don't even know the word. It becomes, you become overwhelmed by it, and you just aren't enjoying it like you would if you didn't know that, you had to be there in order to pay the bills and you had to work this number of hours. And so that's where I is I wanted to be able to practice on my own terms without having to worry about a boss telling me what hours I had to work, and if I had to take off, feeling guilty for that. And, so I was looking for time, and I think a lot of people are looking for time and more balance in their lives. Of course, this is just the hallmark of, I think, what everybody wants, financial freedom, which almost sounds like a cliche, but, it's basically, my thought is, if we can do what we love with purpose and passion and be able to work, the amount of time we want and make the money that's going to give us freedom to do what we want, that's ideal. Most people don't have time and money at the same time. Either you're dealing with people that are very successful, have tons of money, but they have no time because they're working all the time. They have no time with their families. They have no time to travel. They have no time to really do the things that are meaningful to them because their jobs are so demanding, and they may make great money. But, there's time is something you don't get back. And then there's the other side of the coin where you may have a ton of time, people that may be jobless, for example, but they have no money. And so, what we're really looking for is that balance of being able to find, that sweet spot of having time and money at the same time, and having a life with meaning and purpose, and being able to help people and spend that quality time with our families. And so that is really what LifeVantage has provided for me and so many other people. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. So LifeVantage is really pioneering this study of nutrigenomics. And nutrigenomics is the study of how nutrition and naturally occurring compounds affects our genes. So there's a big push in medicine now looking at genes and tweaking genes and how that can affect certain disease processes. So it's really a hot topic in research and medicine. And what I love about this company is that they are pioneering this in terms of looking at natural products with no side effects that can alter our genes to provide better health outcomes. So that's what we're going to talk about. The first thing I want to lead with is just a little bit of science, because the science of this is what really attracted me in the first place. And so I think it's important to really understand, what these products do and how they work. So just to get into a little bit of, just normal cellular metabolism and science. In 1968, scientists discovered that the average person produces 300 sextillion free radicals every day. Free radicals are basically the byproduct of everything we do, what we eat, what we drink, exercise, pollution, what we breathe, smog, alcohol, everything we do on a daily basis. This is the byproduct. And so the average person produces this astronomical number of free radicals every day. And, what these do over time is it causes what's called oxidative stress. And oxidative stress is when the free radicals outnumber our normal defense mechanisms and we start to get cell damage and cell death. And this is actually the cause of aging and the cause of over 200 diseases, very common diseases in the body. And so the only way we can really combat free radicals and oxidative stress is through antioxidants. So I'm sure many of you know about vitamin C. You probably take vitamin C. You've probably heard about it. And vitamin C is something that, it's called a direct antioxidant. And vitamin C falls in the category with other, vitamin E, fruits, wine, blueberries, everything you can think of that people say take your antioxidants. And it's over here on the left side. And these direct antioxidants work on a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's basically meaning 1 and you're done. So you take 1 vitamin C and it neutralizes 1 free radical and you're done. And on the other side of the screen are the indirect antioxidants. And these are our enzymes that our bodies make, which in 1969, Dr. McCord discovered these. And, he discovered that our bodies make these enzymes that actually are way more effective than taking a vitamin C or vitamin E. And these enzymes neutralize 1 million free radicals every single second. And so this was a huge, huge discovery in science. And so we see here, if you're looking at that 300 sextillion number, the 3 with the 24 zeros, what do you think is going to be more effective in fighting that oxidative stress? Is it going to be taking a vitamin C every day? Or is it going to be activating your own body and in these enzymes to neutralize 1 million per second? So obviously the right side is going to be much more effective in reducing those free radicals. So what was crazy remarkable about the product that we're going to talk about tonight, Protandim, is that by taking this one little yellow pill, it actually activates our body to produce these antioxidants in high numbers, these enzymes. And so till about the age of 20, we produce these enzymes in high numbers and we are able to get a handle on oxidative stress. But when you hit about the age of 20, your body starts to, it stops growing and it starts aging. And so these enzymes start to decrease and your oxidative stress starts to increase, as you see with the light blue bar going up. So as you age, that light blue bar starts to go up, higher and higher and higher because our bodies just can't fight that oxidative stress. And what was so crazy about this supplement that we're going to talk about tonight, Protandim, is there was a human clinical study done that showed that people, no matter if you were 20 or 80 years old, everybody that took this pill was able to reduce their oxidative stress to the level of a 20-year-old. So, you can imagine, the differences between a 20-year-old and an 80-year-old. We think about, what's the difference? You're, 80-year-old, you have more wrinkles, you have more joint pain, you have more, less cognitive function. There's so many things that, obviously affect you that didn't affect you when you were 20. And if you were told by taking one pill a day that you could reverse this and restore your enzymes to the level they were when you were 20, would you not want to do that? And so that's the question. When I saw this information, I was really, really blown away. And you may be thinking to yourself, this is too good to be true. Why haven't I heard about this on TV or seen this in stores? And What I'm going to show you is that this was on TV and this was in stores. And, back 10 years ago, this product was sold in GNC and health food stores. It was featured on an ABC primetime investigative report, along with some other TV reports. And so I'm going to show you this tonight and just then give you a little background as to what happened since then. And I need to make sure the sound's on, so give me 1 second. Okay. One second.
It's the little yellow pill that scientists say could eliminate chronic diseases and help you live. It's the little yellow pill that scientists say could eliminate chronic diseases and help you live well into your hundreds.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression.
Uh-oh.
It's the little yellow pill.
Our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. Are you saying that this could be a cure-all?
We make no claims about curing any disease or preventing any disease.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
You might be able to increase the lifespan of a mammal by 50%. And of course, if that was a human being, then that might be in the order of 130 to 150 years.
It's a combination of 5 exotic plants that have been around for centuries. Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Quinones has been taking Protandim for 2 weeks now and tells Extra,
I am sleeping better. I feel a lot better and also energized when I do wake up.
Someone introduced me to Protandim. I just looked at the research and figured out, hey, wait a minute. I have to take 360 oranges in one day to get the same effect of one pill? Sold.
And they said, how do you keep your youth? I have found something, Dr. Phil, that I think is the closest thing to the fountain of youth.
Oh, you do have a secret?
I have a secret, and I've never really talked about it. I've been doing this for the last 2 years. It's called Protandim, and it works. And I'm telling everybody about this.
You feel differently?
I do.
Because you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're hitting the times, you're getting where you're supposed to be.
I have to be on the spot all the time.
Okay. There. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. So, that's pretty crazy that, when I first heard about this product and the science behind it, and I was just like, why haven't I heard of this before? And then I saw that media, I saw the ABC Primetime and Montel Williams and Dr. Phil. And I mean, there's so many other, people that have been out there talking about it. But this was back about 10 years ago. And the problem was at the time, this product was sold at GNC and health food stores, and they were a very small biotech company. They didn't have a big advertising budget. And so, they came out, Dr. McCord, who was the scientist behind this, was conducting research, and he came out with this clinical study that said that Protandim reduced oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, which, if you have 300 sextillion free radicals, that a 40% reduction is pretty huge. And that was something that scientists had never seen before, and a claim that was never been able to have been made before. And so when ABC got wind of this, again, they thought, like many people, this has got to be, bogus. These claims are not real, and we're going to go in there and do a whistleblower investigation. And that's what they did. They went in there intending to debunk this. They sent John Quinones and said, if this really works, then we want to test it out on our guy. And sure enough, instead of debunking the product, it was huge validation. And when that ABC Primetime came out, many, many doctors and scientists and researchers saw that, along with millions of other people. And they all went out and bought the product off the shelves. It sold out around the country, went on a 6-month back order. And the company really was not ready for that demand, and they couldn't meet the demand. And so, it was kind of like a bad deal for the company because they were just not prepared for the demand that it had. But it was a great time for research because all the doctors and scientists got interested in it, and that's how we were able to get so many studies on it. So the way Protandim works is through what's called NRF2 activation, and NRF2 is a pathway in our bodies that actually communicates with our DNA and our genes, and that tells our body to make more of these powerful antioxidant enzymes. And so this is a huge, huge topic in medicine. And, Washington State just recently released a paper that said that NRF2 activation is the most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And I've even heard other doctors talk about it in regards to being the biggest thing they've seen since penicillin. So this is a big, big topic and a big area of research. And, having something that actually is the first thing ever on the market that's all natural, that works through this pathway is so huge. Just to get into a little bit about oxidative stress, I wanted to just show you this because oxidative stress, as I mentioned earlier, really is the root cause of over 200 diseases in the body, and actually probably thousands of diseases. Everything you can think of from any organ. I mean, whether it's your brain, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, immune-mediated diseases, diabetes, heart disease, kidney disease, arthritis. I mean, you name it. Oxidative stress is at the core. And basically, you can go to pubmed.gov and research, any condition that you want and type that condition in and oxidative stress, and you will see the link between them. And so having a product that reduces oxidative stress by 40% is huge. You can kind of connect those dots. So, I would just, when I talk to people about this, it almost blows their mind because they're just like, oh, this has so much science. I need to do my research. And I just look at them and I'm like, okay, do you take vitamin C? And they say, well, yeah, I take vitamin C. I'm like, how many studies did you read before you took vitamin C? And of course they read none. They took it because their mom told them to take it or their grandma. And, that's kind of what I tell them. The beauty of Protandim is that we do have a lot of studies, but essentially it's a salad in a pill. And you think of vitamin C as an antioxidant that works on a 1-to-1 ratio. Protandim is a NRF2 activator that works on a 1-to-1 million ratio. So it is a natural product. We don't have to have all this research, but the beauty is we do. And there have been numerous universities and medical institutions that have studied it and come out with, funded their own studies on it. American Heart Association endorses it. So we have a lot of research. And again, you can find all of these studies by going to pubmed.gov and typing in Protandim in the search bar, and you can read all of them. So LifeVantage has a line of products. We've been talking up to this point about Protandim Nerf 2, but there is also a Protandim Nerf 1 product, which came out about 6 months ago, and it's, again, just pioneering this field of science. And Nerf 1, this Nerf 1 pathway, it's just a different pathway, but it targets the mitochondria in our bodies, which are responsible for our cellular energy. It's like the powerhouses of our cells. It tells everything in the body what to do, and it's how we get our energy. And the Nerf 1 Protandim is, responsible for upregulating these DNA repairs to our mitochondria to create new mitochondria and also to produce more ATP, which is our cellular energy. We also have Canine Health, which is Protandim for dogs. It's the same exact formula, except it's chewable, it's flavored, and it's got some additional things like omega-3s and glucosamine. And I will tell you, being an acupuncturist and veterinarian, the results I've seen with animals is unreal. And, not only in dogs, but also in cats and horses. We have a skincare line, which was formulated from an LSU study on melanoma skin cancer. It's Protandim, but topically. We have a smart energy drink and a weight management line. So amazing, amazing products, all scientifically, based and research-based, which to me is a big deal. I'm going to have to move pretty quickly here before our time runs out. I do want to just let you know about LifeVantage as a company. As I mentioned, it was a retail company back in the early 2000s, but they were not able to really sell Protandim very well before the ABC prime time because no one knew what it was. After the ABC prime time, people knew what it was, but they weren't able to meet the demand. And so when it came back out after the back order, all that momentum had died. And because it's a category creating product, it was really hard to tell the story of Protandim sitting on the shelves at GNC. So in 2009, consultants came in and said, you need to just take this off the shelves, put it in people's hands, let them tell the story. This needs to be explained. And that's what they did. And the company literally went from making about $3 million a year for 6 years to over $200 million a year just in 5 years in being in network marketing, just having people share this information. Company is publicly traded on the NASDAQ. The stock ticker is LFVN, and we are open in 10 countries, positioned to open in about 60 countries in the next 18 months. So it is a company that is growing globally. We're still a baby, even though it's been out over 10 years. The opportunity with the business is big. This is something I didn't really understand when I got into it. I got into it for the benefits of the product, but the reality is we needed money, and I needed time and I needed freedom in my life. So once I realized I could really support and back this product, I looked at the business opportunity. And when you're talking about network marketing, you got to think of it, looking at this S curve, which is really in Business 101, what all companies go through. They start in this formulation and pioneering phase. They go through a huge growth called momentum, and then they end up at the top called stabilization. Typically it takes about 150,000 distributors in a network marketing company to hit critical mass, which is that star, which will take you into momentum. And so you got to think of it like these old companies that have been around forever, Amway, Mary Kay, and they have millions and millions of distributors. But the people who got in before critical mass, the first 150,000 are the ones that make about 80% of the profits of the company long term. And so where we are with LifeVantage, we've got about 40,000 distributors in the US, 70,000 worldwide. We're still well below critical mass, but we are headed and poised toward momentum and towards $1 billion. So, now is the time in terms of just the business opportunity to get involved, because less than 1% of the population knows about this company. They, don't know about Protandim. They don't know about any of these health benefits. So it's really our time, our chance to really educate people. And because of that, we're going to be rewarded financially. And, to me, it's just a win-win because you're helping people and you're able to create a legacy for your family and give you that freedom in your life that you need. So you're not having to worry about punching the clock and having a boss that's going to fire you, and living that life with purpose. And that is what became so huge to me as I got involved in this. There are two ways you can get involved. I mean, of course, you can get involved in the business, but you can also just be a customer, and you can actually order the products wholesale just like distributors do. And you can get it, you can try it, you can refer other customers and get a discount. And it's a great program that they have if you just want to try the product. If you want to become a distributor, if you're looking to make some supplemental income, you can enroll on several different packs depending on what your goals are. All of these packs, the 90% of them are products. And so it's enough for you to try them, to sample them out, to sell them, whatever you wanted to do. But essentially this would start your own business, and you can pretty much take it anywhere you want to. There is a system in place, a huge support team. Obviously, I've never done network marketing in my life. And so I had no idea how to do this as a business. And I relied on people that were already doing it to teach me, and the company has a system in place that trains you, and it's phenomenal, just the support that you get with it. And like I said, it's been life-changing for us. It's allowed me to drop from 6 days a week down to 2, and it has supplemented my income to the point where, almost to what I was making full-time as a veterinarian. So that's a pretty big deal. This is the monthly earnings income for the distributors at different ranks. So you can see, our entry level ranks are anywhere from $100 to $500 a month, which is huge for some people. That's a car payment. It's could pay a lot of your utilities. The Pro 4 to 6 or mid ranks are anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 a month, and the elite ranks go from anywhere to $10,000 to $80,000 a month, which is crazy, but I know people that are making this. And I really wanted to get to a point where I could pay for my kids' school. And that was, I did that in 10 months. I hit Pro 5 in 10 months. So it is possible. And I did that working full-time as a vet. So you can work it into the nooks and crannies of your life and do, make what you want to make. So, all right, for those of you that are on the call, I'm just going to quickly tell you, and for those of you watching the replay, we're going to do an incentive where you get to be entered into a contest, and you are going to be able to win some free product. So all you need to know is this code word, Fireball. So if you're watching, just text the person who invited you the code word, and you will be entered into this monthly contest to get some free products. And, if you're watching the replay, do the same thing. And with that, we are done. So I want to open it up. If anybody has questions, I'd love for you to ask. Let me unmute everyone. There we go. Hi.
Hey, Allison, we have a question from Watha.
Okay.
My question is, what is the training program like?
The training program, well, we've got a system called the Proven Plan. So when you become a distributor, essentially you get a booklet that's called a blueprint, which is a step-by-step, how to get started, how to database, how to really work the business. But in addition to that, you also have, of course, your team. For us, we do weekly team calls, we do trainings, we have the corporate has quarterly corporate events that we go to, and monthly trainings in our city. So there's so many opportunities to get training. It's ridiculous. You're almost like you have to pick and choose because there are so many ways you can get trained.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Okay, Allison, hi. This is Kathy from Anaheim, California.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Sorry.
Good.
I'm a little shy, but not really shy. I got the product down. I just became a distributor a few months ago. I met a lady in Hawaii, and we tried the product back in May. It has literally turned off my husband's health. He had neuropathy for 6.5 years, and it's all gone. And I'm so I know this works, and I got the knit and down of what is going on with the product, how it works in our cells. Now my situation is understanding more about the business, how to introduce this to my potential distributors. And maybe I'm having a little bit of trouble finding a way to invite, because I've already done meetings and appointments here in my house. And I have one lady who came with me to Orlando, and she's going to join me. But it's kind of a slow start, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to really open the eye to many people that would love to not only have this product in their body, because it's going to extend our life and do so many wonderful things with all these free radicals that we are exposed to every single day.
Yeah.
But also look at the business side and how this is going to affect their financial life down the line. And I'm trying to figure out how to go about doing that.
So introduce. Yeah. Well, and before I get into that, I just want to say we may get cut off, but you can log back into this Zoom training with the same ID number, and I'll log back in so we can continue the conversation. It only gives me 40 minutes to do the presentation.